What is up, guys? It is SoCanadianGamer. We are back today, guys, with another epic Spintires mod review, and today we're going to be checking out Blackwater Mojave Green. This is a recent map that came out over at Spintires.nl. If you'd like to check it out, the link is down below in the description, and it is a pretty gigantic map. I don't think we'll have time to go through the entire map, but we are going to go through some sections that I thought were pretty cool. Again, I haven't really explored much of this map. Before we start, we are playing with the SID Hummer H1. I've never done a review on this truck. If you guys would like to see that, let me know and I will be sure to get one out. But I figured this would be a good truck to take on this map simply because it has a pretty wide footprint. Looking at the screenshots for this map, there tends to be some pretty technical areas, and I think that's going to work to our advantage. First thing we have is this little trial area here. We have some logs of death, as I would call them. And we are struggling a little bit. If we could have carried a little bit more momentum through here, we probably would have had better luck. And it's a little bit too late to throw it into high gear now. Of course, guys, if you'd like to see more videos, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. I would very much appreciate it. So that's a pretty cool little trial area there. And we have two fueling stations, it looks like. And some pretty epically deep mud here. And it looks like there's a trial area up there. So we're going to go check that out. And there also seems to be some rock crawling. We'll take a quick look at the map here. And so there's a cool little rock crawling area over here that I want to go check out. But then we have some pretty epic trails that looks pretty technical through there. And it could be a challenge. So if we have time, we're going to try and hit everything up. Again, I don't know how long it's going to take to get through any of this, so it could be a two-part video, and it could only be one part. Not really sure at this point. And we'll throw it into high gear for this cool little section through here. I did have some stuttering issues when I first loaded up the map. Even though the game is on an SSD, it's a very big map to load up, so if you have a little bit slower computer, that could be a little bit of an issue for you. Again, my game only stuttered once though, so if you're running a slower computer, it could stutter or freeze up a few times before you're actually able to explore the map. Oh, we almost flipped it right there. Oh wow, I'm not too sure what happened there. Just try and crawl through this area. So as you can see, the wide footprint of this vehicle is already helping us out. Being a Blackwater map, it's going to be really well put together, thought out well, and it should work even a years from now. If you're to download this map and try it, it should work without issues. There's a lot of winch points throughout the map. Like, I'm willing to bet if we were to stop here and just go in a winch mode, probably going to be, as you can see, yeah, multiple areas to winch from. So really thought out, lots of testing went into this map. Blackwater High Desert is usually the map that I use to do all the testing for these vehicles, and this could very well replace that. The reason I like Blackwater High Desert so much is because it has some really unique obstacles, and you can get right to testing right from the start. You can also spawn in vehicles right from the beginning of the map. You don't have to travel anywhere to get to various vehicles. So if you want to load in 5 or 6 different trucks simultaneously, then you can edit the XML files, and it makes it very, very easy. This map is similar in that way. However, you can actually do some really cool trailing in this map. And even multiplayer would probably be a lot of fun. We are taking some damage going through this section, but 54 out of 600 isn't too bad. I found that this truck is really hard to damage. Just like the Hummer in real life, it's going to take quite a lot to actually damage it. Not to be confused with the Humvee. The Humvee was the military application vehicle that they used, and I believe the Hummer H1 was the civilian variant. So that was a pretty cool little trial area there. So even if you want to load in trucks and just kind of test them out right away and see how they perform, that gives you an idea of how good they are. But we're going to go over to... I want to hit that rock crawling area, but I don't know how well this truck is going to do. So we're going to go hit up a different area. And let's go... which way should we go? Let's go down that road there. That looks interesting. Just back it up here. Not the greatest of turning radiuses. Let's get some speed going. And there's a pretty awesome interior view for this Hummer as well. If we can come across a tunnel, we're probably gonna have to use that. I really like to find a tunnel because just looking in the screenshots, the tunnels look really awesome. So if we can find a tunnel, I think we're gonna be pretty good to go. And there's that rock crawling section off to the right that we're gonna attempt a little bit later on. If we can't find anything interesting right away, we'll go hit up that rock crawling area and see how well we can do. There's a broken tunnel there. Let's go. This looks like a pretty deep mud hole. Oh god. And I flipped it over already. Oh man. Well, let's start over. We'll go back. Thankfully, it's not too great of a distance. And that just proves you really have to watch where you go in this map. You have to pick your lines. You can't rush through it and just gas it all the way through because you will easily flip it. Now, that was just kind of fails on my part for what I did right there. Nevertheless, you really have to watch what lines you take because you can flip it extremely easy as you just seen. But it's not too hard to get back to this area. We're almost there already. And there we are. So probably the correct way to take this on would kind of be through here. There we go. There's a little bit of an opening instead of just going to a straight cliff. And we have a broken tunnel, and we have a tunnel over there as well. That looks pretty interesting. I'm gonna go... Yeah, that looks like a tunnel right there. Wow, we found a tunnel this early on. I don't know if that was just chance or what, but we're gonna have to go into the interior view so we can actually see where we're going, and even then it's pretty hard. It looks like we have a fork in the road. What direction should we go? Can we kind of look around a little bit? I'm just gonna go... I'm gonna go right. I feel like that's the way to go. Hopefully it's not a dead end, because reversing in here could be a thing. Just a really technical area. And again, guys, if you like the video in any way, shape, or form, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. I am trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. It's a pretty attainable goal, so if you guys could help me reach that, I would very much appreciate it. And the links are down below in the description for the map, which is Blackwater, Mojave, and the truck as well, which is the Hummer H1 SID. So it's a pretty high quality truck. One of the reasons I chose it is because I'm banking on the fact that it's not going to have very many issues or clipping problems or just randomly flip, because it probably was tested a lot. I mean, the interior view looks pretty amazing. I've seen the inside of one of these trucks and it does look really accurate. Wow, where are we going? This truck is pretty wide, and that is an issue going through these tunnels. So a narrower vehicle through the tunnels would be nice. We're going to go back in a third person and see if we can get an idea of where we need to go. Okay, so we came out in a creek. If I can get to an area that's kind of safe, I want to have a look at the map and see exactly where we're at. Okay, so we came out over there. So it's kind of a shortcut in a way. Let's continue on up this creek if we can. And we will take a left turn and continue on through that trail. That looks like a pretty cool little area, so we're going to go hit that up. Try and get it into high gear. There we go. I gotta apologize, guys, if you guys hear anything in the background. I do have people in my home, so they do make noises. It's just one of the unfortunate things of living with people, but I'll try and edit as much out as I can. And We need to take a left turn. I mean, we could continue going up that stream, but I want to hit up this trail over here. And we might have some issues getting up here. That looks like a pretty deep rut. Oh dear, we are getting high-centered on that. Out of all the Hummer H1 trucks that I've seen done in Spintires, this is probably the most accurate one I've seen. It has full independent suspension around the truck, which is accurate to the Hummer. I've seen a lot of Hummers come out and they have straight axles, which isn't the Hummer. I mean, it needs to have full independent suspension. That is one of the benefits or the traits of the Hummer H1, is that it has full independent suspension. Makes it very universal, as well as that wide footprint makes it extremely stable. I mean, as you can see, we're taking on some pretty treacherous technical terrain here, and we're not having too many issues. Wow, that is a hell of a rut right there. Probably should have took that on an angle. Yeah, I'm risking flipping it right here. We can just claw away for a little bit more grip. We'll get a front view here. And look at that. We are pretty much vertically down into that crevice. Well, actually, if we go off to the right a little bit, it seems like it's a little bit easier route. So really have to pick your lines and just be careful, because if you go bombing through here in high gear, you're probably going to roll pretty easy, regardless if you have something like the Hummer H1. And that is one hell of a crevice there as well. So we're going to pick our line, we're going to be careful, and hopefully we don't roll it over, because that would be unfortunate. Not too sure what we're stuck on. Okay. Interesting. I might actually just have to winch it out of here. I'm not too sure what we're stuck on. It seems like it should be able to grab grip from somewhere. Sorry if you guys can hear my mouse in the background. Let's winch. Well, that's really the only tree we can winch to. And, oh man, I picked the wrong winch point. We want to winch from there. Is that the front? I hope it is. Yeah, it seems like it's the front. Lots of winch points on this vehicle, makes it really universal. And even if you get it in a really tough situation, you're going to be able to get unstuck. And can we turn? Yes, we can. Not the fastest of trucks, but really not designed for that. And I mean, you're not going to want to go fast through these sections as it is. Just how technical they are. I mean, if we had a narrower vehicle, something like even the Scout that recently came out, there's a review on my channel if you guys want to go check that out, would probably really struggle through here. This seems to just be the perfect vehicle, and I think I picked the right vehicle for this section anyways. So we got 3 different ways we can go. So we can either go right, which is going to take us all the way back. We can keep going forward and take kind of a turn off and go around, or we can take the shorter route. I'm going to go with the shorter route and see how treacherous that is. I mean, that looks pretty insane over there, but I mean, this looks pretty nuts as well. Either way you go, it looks like you're running into some pretty deep crevices. We've only taken 43 out of 600 damage, so I mean, the Hummer's a really hard vehicle to damage, but if you take something that's really low to the ground through here, doesn't have a large lift kit or bigger tires, you're really going to struggle through these sections. And for playing multiplayer, I would envision this being a really fun map, because you have to know that your buddies or the people that you're playing with are going to go really fast through here and roll over. Getting them turned back over in an area like this would also be a challenge. So far a pretty challenging map, I would say. And again, we can either go right or left, and I think the way is left. Wow, look at how deep these crevices are here. And we are not having any of that. Oh dear, we're almost rolling it over. I think I'm gonna winch just to be safe. We've come pretty far, I don't want to just roll it over. And let's try and take a different line through here, and hopefully we'll do a little bit better. Throw it back into low gear. Not really having too much luck going through here. I'll reverse it again, and just a really tricky area, even for the Hummer H1. We might just have to winch it up through here because I don't think we're going to be able to efficiently get through this area. Where can we winch to? Well, there is a tree over there. Hopefully we don't roll it. You have to be careful winching because occasionally you'll just bounce out of control, and that's just Spintires. There we go. But we're kind of offline now, so this is going to be really difficult going through this area. If I can get it into high gear, the momentum will probably carry us through this. I'm going to try it. Oh, wow. Can we nudge forward? No. We're going to have to just do it in low gear. From what I remember, high gear is pretty easy to get into with this truck. And just a really, really technical map, and the graphics are amazing. It almost makes Spintires graphics look more impressive. Just the density in the forest, you don't see a lot of repeating trees over and over again. I mean, they probably are, it's just spread out. And it looks super realistic. Tons of detail, lots of testing went into this map, and you can really see how much effort has gone into this, and probably one of my top 5 maps so far. Another map that I really like is Evans Creek. If you guys haven't checked out the review for that, I'd recommend going to go look at it on my channel. Also a really epic map. Can we winch out of here? Yes, we can. There's always a winch. There's always a winching place, which you can tell when the effort went into the map, when you can pretty much be stuck anywhere and just winch. As I said previously, it just shows that the thought went into the map, it was actually tested and not just thrown together and rushed out. We are stuck again. I'm gonna winch again. You guys can hate on me in the comments for winching so much, but this is just a really crazy section. I don't want to spin for days and days, so I feel like winching is going to be the better way to go. And there we go. We will continue on. I am using a different skin for this truck. I believe it's called Pewter Metallic or Metallic Pewter. It's a pretty cool color, I thought. Looks pretty awesome in the sun. No add-ons for this truck, but you don't really need it with SID trucks. I've noticed that he doesn't add a lot of add-ons to his trucks like fuel, repair points. And the main reason for that is because it would mess with the suspension, how the truck handles, how it takes to bumps, and just the overall traction. So really it's to give you guys a better and more consistent experience, which I can agree with. I mean, he gives you quite a bit of fuel and quite a bit of repair points. So as long as you drive careful and you don't rush through these maps, the trucks really, they just handle themselves well, and you shouldn't need those extra repair points unless you're playing in multiplayer. It would kind of be nice. But enough about that. This map is amazing. Really, really awesome technical sections. Probably would take you a good 4 or 5 hours to fully explore a map like this. And that's if you were careful, because more than likely you're going to flip a few times. So doing this in multiplayer would probably be a better experience, because having to come back to these areas each and every time would be very time consuming and would probably cause a lot of frustration. We take a look at the map. Where are we? So we're almost through this section here, and it gets really tricky through here. Looks like we just have to go kind of zigzag and snake through here. Instead of going over those big mountains, there's kind of a path that's cut out already. Really, really dense areas. And you've probably noticed in the video that there's a lot of trails that kind of break off from the main trail, which is really cool, because if you ever go to an off-roading trail in real life, you'll notice that there's a lot of trails that break off from each other, and they kind of all meet eventually. So that's really realistic. There isn't one way you can go. You can go multiple ways. You could even do these in backwards and reverse, and they're going to work equally as well. Just a super technical area. You probably don't want to go into high gear here. I want to go faster, but again, I just have to be careful. Not flip it over because we're almost out of this section. And then what we'll do is go hit up that rock crawling area. We'll check some of that out. And just a really fantastic map. My first impressions of this are pretty awesome. I think what I'm going to end up doing with this map is putting together kind of a little bit of a episode guide for it. So like all the rock crawling areas I'll feature in one episode and go through them. And all the tunnels, etc, etc. Probably 3 or 4 episodes. Just because it is such a big map, and I think it deserves justice. And it needs its own kind of little series to go through because it isn't your average map. And we don't see Blackwater maps very often, and when we do, they're always really, really high quality. Top quality, 10 out of 10. I would definitely recommend this map. And we are taking damage, but we're going fast. We're not granny driving. And this truck is soaking up all of these bumps. Wouldn't recommend taking the UAZ default vehicle through here. I honestly don't think you'd make it through even one of these courses. Wow, and we might have to... I wonder if I should gear down into low going through here. I'm going to roll with high and just see how far I can get through. It would be epically fails to roll it right at the end of the course. Oh wow, this is... Wow, that is just a big hole. Oh man. We could get stuck here. I might have to winch out of here. Because even if I take it on an angle, we're going to be teeter-tottering on the edge of that mountain. So I'm going to try taking it on an angle. It doesn't work, but we're not able to get traction. I'm going to have to just winch it. See. Question is there anything to winch to? I have one tree here, and that's about it. Interesting. It would suck to get caught up in this area of the map so late in the review. We might actually be stuck here. Either we'll get stuck or we'll roll it over. I wonder if I can kind of jimmy it over here and either get some traction. There we go, we're getting a little bit of traction. Or even find a tree to winch to. Oh, come on, Hummer. Legendary Hummer, this is what you do. I'm surprised we haven't been able to make it out of here. We might just have to winch just a tad. And I can winch to there. I don't know really know what that's going to do for me. There we go. Good to go. That's what it'll do. It'll get us unstuck. And we will carry on. And if we can get a little bit of a flat area, we're going to take a look at the map. And we'll see how far we've come. So we went through that whole little section there. And I kind of want to go up into the lumber there and see what awaits over there. That looks like a pretty cool area. I'm absolutely loving this terrain. Very technical stuff, and you have to be so careful. It is a little bit hard to make out, depending on the time of day, where the holes are. So you just have to tread carefully and kind of walk on eggshells, because there is just straight vertical holes, and if you get stuck in them, it's pretty hard to get out. Thankfully, there is a lot of winching points, though. I'm just going to try and go along these lines, and independent suspension is working to our advantage. We have tons and tons of ground clearance under the vehicle, so we're able to just take those ruts straight on. And this really just looks like insane ruts. I can't imagine trying to conquer terrain like this in real life. I mean, that is That is something else. You would need an absolute beast of a vehicle to get through anything like that. Throw it back into high gear, because I think there's a water crossing up here. Oh, I do have to be careful though, going through here. And the wide footprint of the Hummer, again, just proving to be the way to go, especially for this terrain. If you guys try out this map and you're new to it and you really just want to explore it and scout it out, I would actually really recommend the Hummer as the go-to vehicle because it is such a wide footprint. Or you could use a different vehicle. I probably wouldn't recommend using like a logging vehicle. I don't know how much logging you're going to be able to do on this map. And that is some fairly deep water and the epic Spintires lighting effects. Gotta love it. You do have to be careful on these rocks because it's very easy to get stuck on them. Doesn't matter how good your vehicle is, pretty easy to get stuck on those rocks if you hit them just wrong. I've also seen those boulders damage your vehicle immensely if you hit them wrong. Like even just tap them wrong. I don't know, I think it's just vehicle and map combination dependent. So there is lumber there, and I mean, you could probably make it to this section of the map with like the Peterbilt 379 or even the 10x10 Euro that got released not too long ago, but once you got a load of lumber, I mean, it's going to be really, really hard to get out of here. Could be a challenge to do in multiplayer though. I did recently play with one of my viewers. Typically I don't do that, not because you guys are bad or anything at the game, but there's a lot of trolls out there, something I try to avoid. But he wanted to show me a really cool section on Evans Creek. Because I had missed it in my review. There's a really cool rock crawling section. Nevertheless, it was a really awesome rock crawling section. And I just have that much more respect for Evans Creek. Probably one of my top 5 maps would be Evans Creek. And now this map, Blackwater High Desert's in there as well. And this is really treacherous terrain, and it just goes on for miles and miles and miles. So if you like this kind of terrain, if this is your thing, then I mean you can just go balls to the wall in here. I mean, you could even do it in reverse as more of a challenge. Tons and tons of hours to be had here. And this is it. Wow, this is like canyons. This is pretty nuts. But the Hummer's really just soaking it up with no issues at all. I think what we're going to do is we're going to return back to home base because we've pretty much done all of that terrain in there. And I mean, just to give you an idea of how large this map really is, guys, I did this area here. Just like a little quarter of the map. So that can kind of give you an idea. I think this video has been going for about 20 minutes. So, I mean, that's a lot. And I mean, we didn't even explore all the trails and different routes that you could go. But what we're going to do is we're going to change the time of day back to morning so we can see what's going on. There we go. And we're going to go hit up that rock crawling area that I was talking about earlier. And we're going to see how this truck gets it on with all of that. So, I mean, we went left, but you could go right. And I'm sure there's some pretty awesome adventures that await over there. Even the tunnel that we hit up was fairly epic. And you could even go left here. So if you go left here, that would bring you up into this area, kind of passing by the alternate trail that we went through. Tons of directions you can go. It makes for a really unique experience. Maps get very boring when you just take the same route every time, and it's a planned out route and you can really only go one way, whereas with this map, there's tons of different directions you could go. You can make your own trail courses. But what we're going to try and conquer right now is this epic rock crawling area. Momentum's probably going to be the key for going up this area. So I'm going to try and get it into high gear and just let momentum do the work. And the Hummer is just such a beast. Oh, we are a little bit stuck there. I can kind of try and jimmy it. I don't want to let go of the acceleration because we are in high gear and I'm pretty sure we'll stall it. And there we go. And we're going onwards. So much power in this truck. Really wasn't expecting it to do this good at rock crawling, because I've taken dedicated crawlers. Oh wow, this is like a new route here. I don't think we're supposed to go that way. Yeah, that was shortly lived. Unfortunately, I went the wrong way. Now I gotta try and not roll it down the hill, but we're probably gonna have to winch up the majority of this. And I'm not too sure what we're stuck on. Again, rocks are so hard to grip in Spintires. As I was saying, I've taken dedicated rock crawlers, and they struggle on rocks. I mean, it's just such a weird thing in Spintires. I really wish the developers would come up with ways to make the grip on the rocks be a little bit more realistic, because, I mean, this is a really heavy vehicle, but it seems odd to take a rock crawler that weighs, you know, under 2,000 pounds, has tons of power, and just has immense grip, and it can't even grip on these rocks. I think we're gonna have to winch for the Hummer though. We're gonna grab, oh see, there's tons of trees here. So lots of winching points to kind of get you through. And as long as you don't carelessly gas it through here, I mean, you should be able to make it through. But that is just really epic. And we're gonna unwinch this bad boy. And that is pretty epic looking. That's probably going to be like the screenshot or something. The epic H1. Anyways, we'll continue on. And should probably take my parking brake off and we'll have better luck. This should be a really fun section to go through in multiplayer with your friends. Kind of winching each other up the hill. I'm not sure how long this area goes on for. Very surprised how far we're getting and how easily we're going through all of this, because the Hummer is such a heavy vehicle and it should not be able to do any of this, but the weight could be working to our advantage, because in Spintires, the heavier your truck is, the more traction you're going to get, especially on things like rocks. So that could be why we're doing so well through this area. Somebody should make a rock crawling version of the Hummer. I don't think that's ever been done. That'd be cool to see, because clearly it's a pretty dominant vehicle on the rocks. And we did high center it there. I wasn't watching the lines that I was taking. Oh, whoops. We should be able to winch out of here, though. I'm not really... Oh, there is a tree over there. Good to go, good to go. Once again, Blackwater map proves that the thought process went into it. He realized that people would probably get stuck in this area, so he put tons of strategic winch points all around, and it just makes a lot of sense. What are we stuck on now? Oh, we're high-centered again. Can I reverse it without going too far down the map? I might be able to jimmy my way out of here without winching. Yes, yes. Power. Power. Man, this thing is such a beast. You really have to pick your lines careful going through here. If you don't, you're going to have a bad time. There's a particular way to go through here. Oh wow, we almost went down the hill. That was very close. I'm not sure what that is on the back of the Hummer, if you guys can see that in the video. It looks like a jack or something. Is that because the Hummer is so heavy that if you needed to change a tire, you need an actual like hydraulic jack or something? Could be. If you guys know, let me know down below in the comments. I'd like to know. I love the Hummers. Not to be confused with the Humvees, of course. Those were used for military application. And then the H1s were the consumer versions that kind of trickled down and people started buying them. They were really popular, and I think they stopped making the Hummer in like... Oh god, oh god. Is there something I can winch to make sure we don't fly over the edge? I'm not sure if that's actually a good winch point. Yeah, it is. Okay, it's at the front of the vehicle. There's even winch points at the top here. That's pretty cool. I didn't see those before. Just kind of winch through this area. Once again, just proving to be an absolute beast of a truck. I feel like this is a review for the Hummer right now because I'm so surprised at how well it's doing through this entire map. Everything we've thrown at it, your average truck, even overpowered trucks, would have issues going through a lot of this stuff. I'm just very surprised at how well the Hummer's been able to conquer a lot of this. Kind of reverse it out of here. We're having issues with the turning radius. There we go. Good to go. Good to go. Oh wow. Do not flip it down the mountain. I feel like we're on the edge. Man, this is a tricky area through here. I think we're going to try and winch it just for some security. I feel like that's going to be the best way to do this. Okay. Attempt number 2. Hopefully we don't roll it down the hill. There we go. Using the winch to our advantage. I don't really like using the winch, but through an area like that with such a wide vehicle, you don't really have a choice. I mean, I'm sure you could take your time. Even now, we're just on the brink of flipping it over. Clawing away for grip. We're almost there. Tons of suspension travel on this Hummer. And we did high center it again. Lacks ground clearance. I'd like to see a Hummer with a lift kit. Again, like a rock crawling version of the Hummer. That definitely has to be done. Of course, don't rip off an SID mod though. Make your own model. Or maybe Spun wants to make one. That'd be cool. I'd like to see more variants of this Hummer. I'm such a big fan of it. And it looks like we're kind of getting to the top of this. If we can make it up here without taking too much damage, like we've only taken 5 out of 600 damage this whole entire course, which is definitely impressive. Back in a reverse. Oh geez, that's really close to just rolling down the mountain. And can we... I think right would have been the way to go, but I'm going to try and get it up through here. It seems to have a decent amount of grip on the rocks, which isn't the case with every vehicle. I wonder how this looks in interior. Yeah, that would be scary to do in real life. I know I probably wouldn't be in the vehicle. I would be the dude outside of the vehicle. I think you call them spotters. In rock crawling you see it a lot. They have like a spotter who guides them through. I would be that guy. I wouldn't want to be in the vehicle. And we are almost through this area, and we've only had to winch 3 or 4 times through this entire area, which is just impressive. And this map looks amazing. This whole rock crawling section looks amazing. I wasn't expecting to see a rock crawling section so detailed and so well thought out. And there's just such a good variation, again, of terrain. Just there, you have mud. There's clearly a really epic rock crawling section. And can we jimmy our way up here? We are almost up this hill. Oh, we might have to winch it. We're just not able to get the grip. And just when I say that, we somehow managed to get a little bit more grip and just missed the pole on the way up, so we're able to keep our momentum. That was a good line. I think that's the best line to take through there. We're literally hanging on the edge of the cliff. I'm going to cheat a little bit and just use the grass for some grip. We're almost there. I think the top of the course is just up there. So, I mean, we've almost made it. I'm going to throw it back into the parking gear. And is there anything I can winch to? Well, I can winch to that. I mean, that's not the best thing to winch to, but it's something. Oh geez, this is going terrible. Oh, we're almost there. I don't want to let go of the winch yet. It's kind of like a safety net right now. There's got to be something else we can winch to. There just has to be. Maybe this is the challenge of the map. You make it to the top and you're not able to winch all the way up. Oh, there is a tree over there though. Weird, we got a little bit different angle and we got a winch point that popped up. Or maybe it was there before and I just didn't see it through the rock. But we're almost there. Almost there. Slowly but surely, we're crawling our way up this gigantic mountain. And this would be, again, I keep saying how fun this would be in multiplayer. And it would, like, it's a lot of fun in single player, but in multiplayer, I really think that's where this map is going to shine. And that could have been what Blackwater was going for, is for this map to be used in multiplayer. Wow, that is a mammoth of a rock that we just climbed. I think I'm going the right way. Am I going the right way? I hope this is the way. It looks like the only way to go. And we are almost through. Let's get a front view. The Hummer emerges over the hill. And there we are. What an absolutely amazing map, an amazing course. We pretty much got a chance to check out a good portion of it. I think we checked out like the first quarter of it. Well, kind of the half, but I mean, there's still this whole section down in here, guys. So go and explore that. Like I said, I'm probably going to do like a 3-part little mini series on this, just showing the different variation of terrain that is in this map. But yeah, I'm going to end the video there, guys. Thank you so much for checking it out. If you watched all the way through, I do appreciate it. As always, hit that like button if you liked the video. Hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more. I am trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Pretty obtainable goal. I'd like it if you guys could help me reach that goal. Thanks so much again, and peace.